Now, the Ombudsman for Banking Services has sounded the alarm over digital wallet fraud. The emerging convenient contactless payments have brought new fraud challenges. The Ombudsman says fraudsters use stolen cards to perform fraudulent purchases on victims' accounts without one-time PINs being sent to cardholders to validate the transactions. Now, for more on this, I'm joined by Ombudsman for Banking Services, Reana Steyn. A very good evening, Reana. Thank you so much for the time tonight. Let's talk about how the wave of these current scams has really caught cardholders unaware. What does it entail exactly?
Good evening. What is happening, we've picked up a trend as a result of complaints in our office. Over the past couple of months, the complaints are just getting more and more. So what is happening, it's a very clever trick that the fraudsters uncovered. So they link the stolen card details. Now we know that card details are out there for various reasons, because once upon a time you handed over your card and maybe the person behind the counter was a fraudster, or the details were stolen because you inserted it on a website that was fraudulent, or the details were stolen some other way. But the card details are linked to the fraudster's smartwatch or on their Apple Pay, Garmin Pay, Samsung Pay, or any one of these digital wallets. They use your card details and their device. And the next thing, they will go ahead and tap away, even overseas, using your money out of your account. And there's a huge danger, because for each and every one of those transactions, you will not receive a PIN, and you also do not have to put in your card PIN, because that was the whole point of the convenience. So we see a lot of this fraud, but I think where the story also needs to just go back is that you did receive, or consumers do receive, a message from the bank saying that you're linking a device to your account, and for this to happen. But people don't always read those messages, or they think, okay, well, I'll just click yes, or I'll give the OTP because maybe it's because I've now bought a new watch, or maybe it's something the bank is doing in the background. So they don't realize that when they say yes to that one message, they're giving the fraudster the keys to the safe.
Reana, thank you for that elaborate explanation. Let's talk about this. I mean, are we now just sitting ducks? Because on the other hand, we love convenience. We love the fact that we can just take out our phone, double click on the side and pay for items, right? That's convenience. But does that open us up to more, to us being targeted, as it were?
You're not being targeted because you've got the Samsung Pay or Garmin Pay on your phone, or because you've got a watch. It's because they have the smart devices, and they are using it with the typical stolen card details, which they've been trying to use to do online purchases, for example. But to do an online purchase, they need to send you that one-time PIN, and you need to either give it to somebody over the phone who tells some long story that they're from the bank for them to, finalize their transaction. So it's not your convenience that's really at risk. What it's at risk is that your details are used in this way, and people are not careful enough when they give out that one OTP that they receive on an SMS, or they approve it, because they don't read the messages properly. And maybe sometimes there's a trick involved where you've been waiting for something, and then they pretend that they send you a false message that, the package you've been waiting for, or the transport company, or this or that, just needs this PIN to connect your whatever. And you think, oh, well, maybe it's that transaction, so let me say yes. And that is the danger. So the danger is not the fact that you are using the convenient pay method. The danger is that the fraudster is using it, but using your account details. So it's just a new way of them getting to your account. Whereas in the past they were, doing phishing, they were using your card details to do online purchases, but they still needed that OTP. And, that's obviously a lot of effort to them phone and pretend to be from the bank to get the OTP.
Reana, let's bring in the conversation about the banks. I imagine that's why you have all these complaints sitting in your office at the moment. Obviously, the banking or the financial institution sees these transactions as legitimate, if I can use the word, because they happened on your watch and with your authority, and I'm using that in inverted commas. So as the customer who's been defrauded, what leeway do I have to try and get my money back? And to that end, the bank, are they in any way at fault in this equation?
So I think, it's a more complicated answer because not every case is the same. So I think let's just start there with fraud. No two cases are the same. If you report the fraud and there's an opportunity for the bank to assist by preventing the money from leaving the account or from further transactions happening, maybe that is where we can assist. Maybe that's where the bank should have assisted you. So that there's definitely an opportunity there. So if you see those messages on your phone, be sure to react very quickly because in that case, seconds count. Yes, the banks do see it, that you've approved it, but we have had consumers who deny that they've received a message. So then there's a whole investigation as to whether the message was properly sent or received. Maybe it was sent by the bank but not received. So there's a whole investigation into this. But I do think that what we want to sound the warning is that if the bank says, no, you've approved it and you feel very aggrieved because maybe in your case there was a different scenario, do take it up. Take it up with the bank, take it up with our office, because we find as we investigate hundreds of these complaints that some of those matters are not stock standard. You're at fault and you are liable. There are definitely arguments if we investigate in fine detail situations where we can argue for the bank to assist.
Reana Steyn, thank you so much for your time this evening. Reana speaks for the Ombudsman for Banking Services in South Africa, cautioning you as a cardholder to be more vigilant with the text messages you receive on your phone if and when you are transacting or aren't. Just be aware of all the activity that happens on your account.